NES here. Beats Games Life. You know the motto. Just want to do a quick little video. This video is going to showcase an application called Launchbox. Launchbox is essentially a kind of a hub for all your games on your PC. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little tour of it. I don't have it fully set up yet. I'm still in the process of adding all of my games onto it. For boomers like me, you're able to play, you know, all the old school stuff: Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Atari Jaguar, Sega Saturn, all that stuff. PS1, PS2. For emulators like that, you need a little bit more of you need a little bit better hardware, I would say, on your PC. But a lot of these emulators also, you can play these things on your mobile devices nowadays too. It's awesome. Launchbox is also available for your mobile device, which is really cool too. I'll delete the app a little bit. You can see I'm currently, if you look down here at the screen bar, I am currently adding in my Super Nintendo games right now. What you see on the screen right here, this is my the start of my Sega Dreamcast collection, because I'm going to be adding a lot more to it. But when I used to have Dreamcast back in the day, these are most of the games that I actually used to have in my actual collection, so I figured I'd start with those. But yeah, you can run everything right from here. It adds the box art in there for you and everything like that. You can have your computer games on here, which I haven't added yet. Handheld consoles like PlayStation Portable, PSP, which I have a few games which I'm going to add in later. You've got regular Nintendo here, which I have a ton of games. I have I have pretty much every Nintendo game ever made, Japanese, American. Some of these games I've never heard of. Some of them are just not even, some of them aren't even real games. Some of them are games made by actual, other, regular people, I guess you could say. And they, made, different versions of games and stuff like that. But there's thousands of them here. Sega Genesis, same thing. I've got a ton of Sega Genesis games. Some of them don't have the box art yet, because I have to, do some fine tuning to get that, working properly. But I mean, there's a search bar over here to the top left. You can use that to search. Oh, look at that, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. We should play that. Yeah, let's boot that up real quick, and let me just, so I can show you guys how this runs. So I just double click on it. I've already got my emulators set up, which you can use Launchbox to do if you don't have the emulators, or you want to get a different emulator for a system or something like that. When you're in the settings of Launchbox, you are given the option to go to a website and download the necessary emulator that you want. You can't download ROMs through this. You have to have your own. But I'm sure a lot of you guys that are on this channel, you probably already have that, and you already know how to do that. But if you don't, if you want to leave a comment down in the video, I can do future tutorials on how to set Launchbox up, even though there are lots of tutorials, or how to put the ROMs in there. Anything that you guys might want to see, I can do that for you. But there is lots of content on how to do those sort of things. But yeah, so let me just run this. So basically, I just double click on it. It's not opening up. I hit play. Okay, there we go. And there you go, right there. That's the Moonwalker. Boom. Got it. Bubbles. But yeah, man, what else can I say? It's really just great. If you're like OCD, kind of like me, you like to have everything organized in one place, Launchbox is really good for that. Okay, on the pulse already. But yeah, my Super Nintendo ROMs are just about done uploading. That'll be good. But and then I want to add in, my get the idea. It's a pretty nice little emulator here. I mean, it's a little hub, I guess you could say. And yeah, you just hit escape, and then you're right back to the menu here. I have my Dreamcast here, which is something that's a little bit more high intensive as far as like what your PC is gonna be able to handle. But let's open up Soul Calibur. And I can show you guys, you know, how this looks. Look at that, it opens right up. It runs nice and smooth. Soul Calibur, one of my favorite fighting games of all time. Let's just do a quick little fight.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
But yeah, I mean, it's running pretty smooth for me. I mean, you're gonna get different performance.
Mitsurugi versus Voldo. Battle 1, fight! This victory strengthens the soul of Mitsurugi.
You can cancel out of that. And there you go. Okay, and my Super Nintendo games are done. So now those are right here. And they're gonna all start populating. I've got a ton of Super Nintendo games as well. Let's see if we can get Final Fight. That's always one of my nice little quick little beat 'em up game. And one of my personal favorites. Yep, there we go, right there at the top. There's a couple of them. Final Fight 2. Double click on it. Oh, I don't have my controller set up, so you have to set up your controller in the emulator. You're probably gonna have to open up the emulator separately, you know, wherever you have it stored on your PC. I suggest storing everything in the Launchbox folder as far as emulators, ROMs. In fact, with your ROMs, when you import them, it gives you an option to move them directly into your Launchbox folder, which is just another quality of life, you know, convenience thing, I would say. But let me set up my buttons real quick, which is real easy to do. It's a one-time thing. You set everything up once, and then you're good. So I'm gonna have to do this all at once. Up, left, down, right, and then you can see right there in the right-hand corner, it shows you what the buttons would look like on the regular controller, just in case for some reason you forget. I forget. I never owned a Super Nintendo. I was a Sega Genesis guy. I've always been a Sega guy through and through, so I didn't own a Super Nintendo, but kind of low-key wanted one, though. So then you just kind of set up the buttons according to like the diagram there. So B would be like down here. Did I hit it? Okay, there we go. A, Y, and X. And then start, select, you know, just the usual stuff. Left, right. And then, I don't know, we'll just leave the diagonal stuff disabled for now. But yeah, we're good. And then you can make it full screen. I think you actually have to do like a command line thing or something. You have to have it on full screen, but this is fine. Oh, this one doesn't have Guy in it. It's got code in it. I love these beat 'em up games. Without the diagonal, it's kind of hard to turn around. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna add in. I'll add in a PS2 game real quick, just so I can give you guys kind of an idea of how that works. So basically, you're gonna go to Tools, and then if you add more games for a current emulator that you already have, you can go to Scan for added ROMs. And then it'll scan your folders that you have already selected, and then it'll go through you know, and see if there was anything added, and it will add them in if you did. But if you're gonna be adding in something new, you're gonna want to go to Import. I always go to ROM files, and then we'll just add one, because we could do the whole folder. But see, like, I already have my folders already pretty much set up: Nintendo, PlayStation 1, Dreamcast, Genesis, PlayStation 2. I'm gonna add more stuff. You know, I want to get like Atari Jaguar, stuff like that, eventually. But yeah, let's go. Sony PlayStation 2. Let's do Def Jam Vendetta. One of my favorites. One of my favorites. So then it's gonna go right there. You're gonna go to next. You got to pick the right emulator. Do I have the PlayStation 2 emulator already on here? I think I do already. I believe I already have it set up, because that's a whole nother video in itself, getting that set up, because you got to get BIOS, you know, and all that stuff to get it to run. But like I said, a lot of these PS2 games, even with my new laptop, they don't run necessarily the way they probably should run. Some of them run a little bit too slow, but like I know Def Jam Vendetta. See how it gives you an option right here? I just hit use file in the current location because the folders are already where they need to be anyways. So it's gonna ask you to download the box art and stuff like that. You can if you want to. I usually just download everything. And then that's pretty much it. And then it should add it in there. Yep, okay. One game was imported successfully. You see the Sony PlayStation 2 over here now. There we go, Def Jam Vendetta. Alright, let's see how this runs. I think I have my buttons and everything already set up for this emulator, so I think we should be good. But I know a lot of you guys are gonna remember this game. I'm actually thinking about doing some content on this one as well, doing a playthrough of this game because I love Def Jam Vendetta and Def Jam Fight for New York, which I have also as well.
EA Sports.
See, it seems to run. It runs pretty good on my laptop.
Def Jam Vendetta.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Here's where you learn how to get done.
Match, but like, you know, you can see
This red bar is the health meter and displays your remaining health. Whenever a character gets hit, the bar decreases. Health replenishes.
Yeah, so I mean, it works good, you know. And that's PlayStation 2 right there. I think I'm gonna call it right there, guys. But thanks for checking out the video. Make sure you like, share, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I'll see you guys in the next video.